Together we are but first coffee. Susie's just our host, but what matters most is we are a team. Together we are all safe here, and so are you. Among friends and mods we are safe. We talk about trauma, break down drama of life, death, happy or sad, even mad. We discuss it all here. Together we will thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Together we fight cults or fight addictions. If not with experience, with love, and we don't judge. Please understand, this is a safe place to land. Please understand, you're not alone. This is a safe place to land. Together we thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Because we are but first coffee, and Susie welcomes us all here. Together we are but first coffee, and Susie.
Hey everybody, good to be back. Good to see you. Oh, trying to let that algorithm have just a minute to send out those notifications and get some people in here. I think this is going to be a good one. I'm a little nervous because anytime I do one that's kind of in honor of someone, it's hard. You want to make sure that you do it right and do them proud, and not that they wouldn't even care who I was. So, but yeah, so I just want to do it right. So anyway, I'm going to check with the chat first, and then I've got some pictures I want to show you, and then I will get started. So anyway, Jersey Jan, thank you. Yeah, reminding everybody to be respectful. Hit that like and subscribe buttons. Thank you. Ben, you are right. She was such a sweetie. It disgusts me to no end that someone who is a bully is saying that they were bullied just like her. I know. It made me sick. And I'll be honest, when I heard that, I almost just thought I'm not going to do the show because I didn't want to be lumped into that category of somebody that was doing it or saying something, for clicks or whatever. So, yeah, I almost didn't do it. It was a couple days ago now, of course. But then I thought, you know what? No, I don't have that in my heart. That I'm not being him. And so, yeah. Anyway, makes me sick. Steve says, sending my love and support. I won't be chatting along much for this one, but I'll be listening. Well, I'm glad. Always glad. Let's see here. Yeah. Mare says, Steve's going to be flying, I bet. Uh, oh, wow. Already airborne over Vancouver. How exciting. I think that'd be so fun. The whole thing. I'm just amazed by it. It's weird. Yeah, we may want to do it with a trigger warning. Yeah, we will. I'll put one up in just a minute. Or if Mischief is in here, she'll get it before I get to it. Uh, uh. Yeah, Mischief is in the back office, so she will be starring comments and questions. We were back there chit-chatting, we usually do a couple minutes ahead of the show to try to catch up and make sure that we know what's going on, and it just kind of, I don't know, it levels me out so that I'm not just like, oh, what's going on? Yes, here we go. I see a lot of y'all are just chatting together. You don't hear her breathing. Hey, quiet, peaceful dance. Good to see you. Very good to see you. This is funny. You woke up with the intro playing in your head. I do too, all the time. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I need to change that. I do like it though. Greetings from the old dungeon. Mischief is a mess. Oh, the mirror trick. Is my screen mirrored or something? I don't, it just does what it wants. I did get the thing off of it where it would like move because that was just freaking me out. I couldn't handle it. It was some deal that had gotten clicked where it was supposed to try to keep me in the middle of the screen and keep me focused. I need something to keep me focused, all right, but not necessarily in focus, just focused in my brain. Yeah. Amy, it's good to see you too. This will be a good one for you. You'll like this one. Well, nobody's going to like it, but yeah, you know what I mean, right? It'll be a good one. Well, I was just yap, yap, yap. Tomorrow I'll be like this. I just won't say a word. No, I'm actually planning to take tomorrow off, so we'll see how that goes, right? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Amy. That's very sweet. Love my hair. I'm just trying different things. It's in that where it's trying to grow, and I want it to grow because I'm headed to a place with it. So it needs to grow, but those, you know, ugh, those in between not layers, but lengths are just a pain in the butt. Nana up too. Good to see you too. Darcy's. Do not change the intro. You love it. I love it too, but I just don't want everybody to get tired of it. So y'all have to tell me when you think it's time to get a new one. So, because I don't want to change it. You want my alien poster? It's actually a picture and it's in a little black frame, but you can't tell. But I got it on Temu. For probably a couple bucks. I mean, it's crazy. I like to shop bargains. Yes, they make me feel sick too, Mischief. Those cameras that follow the, yeah. Yeah, it's a setting, and I don't remember setting it there, but I remember looking at the settings, and so I probably clicked it, probably scrolled over it too long or something. Early on, we learned to be hyper obedient to groups. This is because our ancestors had to rely on the tribe, and exile meant death. But it doesn't have to hurt and voice an opinion to be true to yourself. True. Saw somebody walking around the yard. I was like, who is that? But it was Mark. Chris 10M, part one. Bless Michaela, her rescue, and her family. Save a Fox needs all the warmth and support we can give. Thank you, Susie. Thank you for bringing attention to this tragedy. It is tragic. It is. Are you talking about the pictures? You'll have to look on Temu if that's what you're looking for. Amy likes aliens too. They have a lot of alien stuff on Temu and it's cheap. Yeah, I saw that Aaron said he was going to change his because some people complained, but he didn't. I'm glad he didn't too. I like it. Part two, Susie, you're amazing dealing with your disgusting trolls the way you do. You are amazing. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that, but not really, just as a comparison deal, not really. If you feel you are being bullied, tell your friends, tell someone. Absolutely. Tell somebody. So, anyway, I do appreciate all of that. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am going to tell you I have most of tonight's pretty much scripted because I just want to make sure I get it right. I just don't want to mess up. Now, when I have something scripted, I generally go off the script. I just use it as a in case I get overwhelmed and have to go back to it, but I am going to be reading some of it on purpose because I want to get it right. I do have slides, but I'm going to actually just be showing slides that go along with what I'm talking about. So, not going to be well, some of it I have to read the slides, but it's because it's what I'm talking about. So, anyway, we're going to do it a little bit different. But first, I do have some pictures. And I just wanted to set the tone for what we're doing here tonight, and I'm already getting emotional. Oh boy, this is going to be a rough one. Yeah. Oh. So I already cried my makeup off twice. So anyway, I'm going to put these pictures up and then we're going to get started. So, and I'm just going to leave them for a few seconds and put the next one. So this is our girl that we're talking about. She was 29 years old. And she actually started um, dedicating her life to rescuing fox at the age of 15. And by 20, she had her own foundation. She is just a beautiful person, and from everything I've heard, she's a beautiful person inside and out. And anyway, look at that. I want to play with a fox. Doesn't everybody want to play? Yeah, just 29 years old. Mm, I like this one too. Look at that. Oh, just snugglies. You know what I like? I like the fact that her clothes don't match. And she's just playing with the fox and taking care of them. I mean, these pictures, she said herself, I've watched a lot of her videos over the years, and she just when she would have pictures when she would take pictures with them was just when she was out cleaning everything and feeding them and taking care of them and everything. And she didn't like set up photo shoots, and so a lot of times she just kind of looked a mess. Yeah, that's a real mess, Michaela. That's a real mess. But yeah. And then I do have this last one because this one I think is just something that I wish that I could just I don't know. And this was just a few days ago. So just to think that, she was in that much emotional pain, and I mean, he knew that she was having a rough time and everything, but it's just rough. So anyway, I'm taking these off of the out of the studio, and I'm gonna bring some more, not pictures. I'm gonna get started with the rest, but I'm gonna put these pictures on my community page later. I do already have the information for. I guess I should say that. Um, you can go directly to her page, and I've got the information there if you want to donate, or any super chats that I get tonight will be going to her, um, to her foundation. So anyway, and that's only if you all can. I don't want anybody to super chat or to make donations if it would put you in any kind of a in a bad way. I just wanted to give those ways, in case somebody wanted to. So, anyway, there is that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up this first set of deals and then I'm going to get started reading because it's actually a while into it before I need them. But if I already have them, that just makes it so much easier. So, it's just so sad. She was such a beautiful person, and I don't just mean her obvious beauty. I mean, she was a beautiful person inside and out, and everybody that actually knew her loved her and thought that she was awesome. And for trolls, you know, to push her to that point, and we're going to share a little bit about that and a little bit about what kind of monsters these trolls are and what did that one not come up? Okay, yeah, I did. What Reddit and YouTube and the other places are not doing to help it. So, anyway, sorry. I'm a little emotional, but I'll pull it together once I start reading. I promise. Or I promise to try. So, anyway, tonight we're talking about something that has been weighing heavily on a lot of our minds and our hearts, and that is the life and the death of Michaela Rains. Oh. This live is about more than just a story. It's a real woman with a real rescue mission, and it's a real warning about a real issue that hits all of us very close to home just because we all know people or are people who are being bullied by online trolls, and it is just it's unfair, and there's doesn't seem to be any stopping it, at least not without a lot of help. So Michaela was the founder of Save a Fox Rescue. She was a passionate advocate of animals. She was a wife and she was a mother, and her life was cut too short. And yes, we're going to talk about the Snark forums and the so-called T accounts. And we're going to do that because they played a huge part in the decision that she made to end her life. I guess I should put that up. I'm sorry. Trigger warning. Whoops. Susie. Ugh. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. I was going to do that while ago and completely forgot. Anyway, but first I want to tell you about her mission. And that didn't end with her life ending. Her rescue, Save a Fox, is still going, and it needs our support. So if you are moved and able to do so, you'll see her official donation page information on the screen. Whenever you put in Save a Fox, this is where you come up to, and there's actually, I just wanted you to be able to see the page, what it's going to look like, and you'll know it's it. And it actually has a part that says to donate. Okay. And it's also in my, the paper that tells all about it is in my community posts. And again, any super chats that we get during the live will be donated to her rescue. And of course, I'm going to be showing receipts that I've done that because I was said by some trolls that I wouldn't do that. How would they know if I donated it? And I'm like, I'll show the receipts. So anyway, while we're remembering Michaela, or even if you've not heard of her before tonight, I want to hear from you. I want to know, do you think that the snark and the trolls or the call out culture have crossed a line? And do you believe online cruelty has went from words to a weapon? I'd like to know your opinions on those things. So at any time in the night, if while we're on here, if you want to answer those, that's fine. Again, do you think that they've crossed the line? Or do you think that they have weaponized their cruelty, their words? And this isn't just about drama, it's about digital accountability and a woman who devoted her life. Move that one. That devoted her life to the voiceless only to have her voice drowned out at 29. She did so much in those 29 years. But y'all, we got to do better. We got to do better for Michaela and for all the others before and sadly after her that have been and will be bullied by these relentless, evil people that hide their identities and get mad if anybody finds out their real name or gives out any information about them. They want all of ours. And I'm not talking personally, I'm talking about all of ours. They want your information, they want everything, but they don't want you to even know their name. So I want to start with her early passion and rescue work. At 15, Michaela found her love for wildlife, volunteering with a gray fox. And she bottle raised her first fox that she named Farrah Foxet, which was from a fur farm. A fur farm is a place that intentionally raises these animals to use their fur. So there was that she was rescuing them from. That was her main focus. She also focused on those that were made to be pets, bred to be pets, but then they got to be too much for the family or whatever. But mainly on the fur trade. So in 2017, at just 20 years old, she officially founded Save a Fox Rescue, a 501c3 wildlife sanctuary focused on rescuing fox. In, first in Lakesville, Minnesota, but eventually growing to include a second facility in Florida by 2020. Okay. The sanctuary's scale and mission, through a grassroots fundraising she rebuilt after permitting challenges. What happened was she was getting more fox than she was permitted for, and she actually um, had twice as many fox as what she was permitted for, so she lost her permit. So she moved to another facility there where she was at that was bigger that could take them and moved on. So, one that was bigger and she got permitted for a larger number. She didn't just give up, she moved forward. She scaled Save a Fox into the largest fox rescue in the US by 2019, rescuing hundreds of fox and even jackals, squirrels, and reptiles, but mostly fox. She was the kind of person that she just couldn't say no. And so if it was in her realm, if she was qualified and had the facilities to be able to house others, and she did. So as of 2023, Save a Fox reported over 1.3 million in revenue, maintaining the USDA, state, and wildlife permits. So she had really moved on. They're still doing what they're supposed to do. It's just the latest that we're online. In her personal life and her family, Michaela met her husband, Ethan Frank Camp, who was a volunteer at the rescue. and they married on December 23rd of 2020. And they got married at the Save a Fox rescue. So together they had a daughter, Freya, born in 2022. She built a huge online platform with over 2.4 million YouTube subscribers and more than 500,000 Instagram followers. She shared rescue operations and Fox updates and educational content, and she would also show her family, her husband, Freya, usually while they were doing stuff for the rescue. But she had struggles and a tragic death. Michaela battled autism, depression, and borderline personality disorder, all while enduring relentless harassment, including from fellow rescue community members. And her husband adamantly claims that they contributed largely to her June 2025 suicide. We're going to look into a little bit about why people with autism or depression are especially vulnerable to bullies. Now, I do want to have a little side note on here that when the Reddit trolls, we all know who those are, right? Learned that I was doing this live, they had a lot of stupid claims that weren't true, but among them, they said that I wouldn't share her mental illness. Well, there was absolutely no way in hell that I wasn't going to say anything about her mental illness. One, it's a huge part of her story, and what makes it even more beautiful and more powerful. It wasn't something to be ashamed of. And two, not even two, 1A or 1B, basically. July is Disability Pride Month, where we celebrate the accomplishments of those with disabilities. And it's also Mental Health and Awareness Month. And two, Michaela and Ethan were very open about her mental health. And the trolls and the snarks, as they're called on, I want to call it Ribbit, Reddit, whatever. They were just relentless, and they used it as a weapon. And that's what makes me absolutely ill, is that these people knew the risk. They knew that they were hurting somebody that was, more vulnerable than some. But they used it against her for 7 years. She endured this for 7 years. And I'm going to be doing a lot of self-editing because I'm mad. I am very mad. And the more I looked into this, the more mad I got. Now, people with autism, they have often got difficulty interpreting social cues, and that can lead to isolation and make trolling even more hard to process. A lot of people, and I'm not making these flat statements where I'm saying everybody with autism does this and that, because that's not true. But statistically, a lot of people with autism have a greater online presence than a lot of us do. They're online a lot. And I was actually talking to my daughter about that, and I wondered, and Amy's in the chat, she might know. I wondered if it was because, they can be kind of socially awkward sometimes, and I wondered if being online is easier. Because, if you meet me in person, I'm probably going to be way more shy than what you would think I would be, and kind of awkward and looking for a door out, you know? And so but I'm a lot easier it's easier for me to talk when I'm online, and so I wonder if it's that way with people that are on the spectrum. So anyway, but being online more puts them at a bigger risk of encountering cyberbullying. And a lot of times those that have autism will also they'll internalize it more. They'll internalize the bullying, which makes it even more likely to spiral into suicidal ideations. So, and that is everything I just said came from Springer, Autism and Suicide Risk, and MDPI risk factors is what it says in youth with ASD. So I didn't just pull that out of my butt, as John likes to say. So, but the thing is that people with autism can live long and happy, productive lives, and even with other disabilities and any kind of mental illness. And she was a bright, healthy 29-year-old woman who should have had many years ahead of her, and she's gone. We've got to start or stop looking at disability as a disability, or not really as a disability, but that it's a disability and not an inability. That's what I'm trying to say. I should have wrote it down. But we do need to look at it that way. We need to stop thinking, oh, well, they can't do, they can't do, they can't do. Well, it's not that. They just might have to figure out a different way to do it. But you all, when you add relentless, dehumanizing harassment and bullying, it's too often just a deadly combination. And so, somehow or another, okay, hold on. Okay, never mind. I'm going to come back to this one slide. I don't have it up here, so I'll just come back to it. I've got another part where it makes sense. So, sorry. And to add insult to injury, our Reddit trolls, of course, couldn't resist chiming in. They falsely claimed that Ethan said the Snarks may have played a small role in her suicide decision. So I'm going to show you some of his quotes. And I really wanted John to be here to read them because I wanted it to be a man's voice, but I'm going to read them. But you can decide if you think that he thinks that it's a small deal. This is a picture that I had made on the AI program of her with an adult fox and a baby fox crying. Her's an angel. And Ethan said, I wish you had to see me find her. Watch me perform CPR on her for 15 minutes. To those of you that pushed her to this, I wish you had to see me find her. And I wish that you had to watch me perform CPR on her for 15 minutes until the first responders arrived. I wish you had to watch helplessly as paramedics attempted to revive her. And I do have these sourced. I can't see them, but they're there. She felt as if the entire world had turned against her. He spoke of that, about the ongoing sense of isolation that she experienced. She felt as if the whole world had turned against her, he said, describing the toll of what he called a targeted online bullying campaign. She couldn't bear what she was feeling any longer, and she ended her life. Ethan, in his Instagram video, confirming her death and explaining that her emotional pain became too much to continue. She felt as if the entire world had turned against her, on how relentless online bullying from strangers, peers, and even close friends had isolated her deeply. The close friends he was talking about were other people who had rescues. They turned against her too. I think it was out of jealousy. I have not been able to find anything that says why they should have turned against her or why anybody should have been bullying her. They consistently spread ridiculous claims and rumors, and being the sensitive human that she was, Michaela took it all to heart. For years, she pushed through the pain. But this time, it was too much. I have some more. The picture on here is one of the snarks that contributed to this. Sorry, this is why I have my. Okay. They consistently spread ridiculous claims and rumors, and being the sensitive human that she was, Michaela took it all to heart. For years, she pushed through the pain, but this time it went too far, calling out the cruelty of critics and friends and emphasizing that she reached her breaking point. To those of you that pushed her to this, I wish you had to feel what she felt. I wish you had to watch me perform CPR on her for 15 minutes until the first responders arrived. This was a raw expression of grief and anger directed at those whose actions contributed to her suffering. I hope Michaela can see this, and I hope that she's proud of me. In a heartfelt Instagram story, Ethan honored Michaela by walking her rescue fox, Finnegan, as a tribute to her. Anyway, if you only have negative garbage to say, just shut up. See, I would have had to have edited that very, very strongly because there would have been a lot. Ethan delivers a direct plea to online critics. If you only have negative garbage to say, just shut up. And if you are feeling lost and hopeless, please reach out to someone. One thing Michaela would always insist on, we always had to take Finnegan for a walk. In a poignant moment honoring her routine, Ethan shared in his Instagram video. One thing Michaela would always insist on, no matter how long or terrible the day was, we always had to take Finnegan for a walk. I hope Michaela can see this, and I hope that she's proud of me. And then he said, I don't have any words to describe it. It's definitely been the hardest week of my life. Now, I want the trolls to tell me that he thought that they played it. Not these trolls, but that he thought that trolls played a small part. This woman had a happy life, okay? Except for the trolls. Do you want to pull this one up too? When it started, early criticism really started to ramp up in 2017 or 2019. It started in 2017, but by 2019 it was really ramping up. It was as Save a Fox grew, some in the animal welfare circles began accusing her of hoarding animals and raising ethics concerns online. That was what started it, was whenever she had more than what she was allowed to have. Now, she wasn't doing it as a hoarding situation. She was doing it and they didn't have anywhere to go, which was wrong, and she knew it. But she fixed that very quickly and moved on. But even if I'm always one of these even ifs, even if it was a hoarding situation, which it wasn't, there's no evidence that it was. That's also a mental illness. And so going at her wasn't going to help. If they thought she was hoarding, they should have just went to the authorities and let the authorities take care of it, which is what happened. They came, she, was in the process of getting everything set up at another place. She was only sort of in trouble. She had X amount of days to get it fixed, and by then she was moved. So, anyway, the Reddit snark and cyberbullying began really bad in 2021 through 23. Around late 21, a dedicated Reddit community called Save a Fox Snark emerged to criticize Michaela, questioning her rescue methods, her ethics, and her transparency. And it escalated in 2025. By early 2025, the subreddit had grown more organized and vicious, with trolls compiling spreadsheets about each fox's status, accusing her of animal deaths and photo exploitations, because it was apparently exploiting those fox that she had pictures of them online. Now, following Michaela's death in June of 2025, over 23,000 people signed a petition, resulting in Reddit banning that snark community. So I say too little too late. There had been many, many reports filed against them, and reports filed on YouTube, and nobody did anything. But they immediately did something when she died. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. How serious is the snark issue on Reddit? And I'm irritated at the word snark because I can be snarky, and I don't like them using the word snark because that's not snark. That's not snark. Snark is not meant to be abusive. It's just not, and I don't like it that they're using that, but that's what they have termed themselves. And even a couple of the ones that I've had problems with had it on there that they were, they had snark in their description. I notice it's gone now. So, anyway, oh, and before I forget, because I don't think this is on here, they said that Reddit is doubling, more than doubling its number of snark subreddits or whatever they're called. I don't know what all that is, and I don't care to know. But they are more than doubling it every month in how many of those accounts there are. And there are already a lot. So, Reddit hosts many snark or gossip subreddits that center on criticizing influencers, often named, and has that, yeah, r/xyz snark. While some aim for accountability, this Save a Fox snark crossed into organized harassment. These subreddits often target female creators, delving into body shaming, doxing, and mob behavior. And I've got, if you can see on there, all my sources are on there. A 2024 study on Reddit found coordinated antisocial networks with sarcasm used as a cover for targeted harassment, especially against teens and minority creators. During 2021, Reddit's most popular communities had 4.3 to 6.3% of comments violating norms as personal attacks or misogyny, or most went on unmoderated. Takeaway: Reddit's structure and moderation model shows that these smart communities, or allows these smart communities to flourish more than on any other platform. And then cyberbullying across other platforms. a minute. According to Pew and ADL surveys, Facebook remains the most reported platform for online harassment. 46% of teens report some form of bullying there. Other platforms follow: Instagram 24%, Twitter 28%, Snapchat 15%, TikTok 9%. Among daily users, Reddit appears high. Gaming network Twitch topped at 47%, followed by Reddit, Facebook, and Discord. Bottom line, while Reddit isn't at the top, it is close knit, and they move to others. So they organize on Reddit and then they move to other places to do their stuff. So that's actually kind of working in Reddit's favor. It's making it where it doesn't look like it all comes from them, but that is where a big majority of it is organized, is Reddit, because Reddit doesn't pay attention. Some of the others, they have a high sense of it happening, but when it's happening, they try to get rid of it. Whereas Reddit doesn't really. So they can go there and organize and do their stuff on Reddit because Reddit's going to leave them alone. But then they can also go to all these other social media platforms and do it there too. So, it's just like with mine, she's from Reddit, but she does more on YouTube than she does on Reddit. She just says more outrageous things on Reddit. So, let's see here. Yeah, got a couple more that I'm going to use right now. So how this Save a Fox snark fit in? It was one of many snark subreddits targeting creators driven by communal critique and rumor spreading. The subreddit escalated into organized trolling when users tracking Fox health, mocking her personally, and celebrating her death. That kind of coordinated harassment matches the platforms identified in the 2024 study on Reddit bullying. So they have bullying prevalence. I can't talk. It's high per comment violation rates, 4 to 6. That's a lot if you think about it. 4 to 6 of their comments violate. Yeah. But look at this. Facebook has 46%, Instagram 24 to 28%. It's crazy. So anonymity on snark culture strongly, they can hide easily there. They don't ask for real names. They don't ask for really any identifying information. The moderation, it's often delayed or absent. The thing is that the moderators on the ones that I've been on are usually the ones doing the worst. So what does that tell you? Impact on individuals, coordinated and persistent harassment can cause deep trauma. Why it matters. Reddit's anonymity and snark culture equal fertile ground for sustained coordinated bullying. Michaela's case is a textbook example where harassment crossed the line into tragic real-life consequences. It says other platforms see more casual harassment, but Reddit it's a higher level. It's more mean, basically. More planned, coordinated. Okay, I've got 2 more in here, and then we're gonna go on a little bit. I wanted to look at YouTube's part in this. Monetized hate and drama content. Creators can make money from videos that bully, mock, and harass others as long as they don't use explicit slurs or graphic threats. This loophole is used to call out used by call out and drama channels, which is absolutely true, and we see that every single day. I have reported so many videos and stuff, and all I get is that it didn't meet their, whatever they have to have for them to stop it. And these trolls know that. The comment sections are fertile ground for bullying. Yeah, you don't see them come in as much on the chats on the live streams. It's always the comment sections or the posts. They do a lot of body shaming, accusations of fraud, abuse, lying, targeted hate based on disability, gender, mental health. One ADL study found 17% of teens reported being cyberbullied on YouTube, especially in comment sections. That is ridiculous. YouTube has got to do better. And Reddit, I don't even know what to say to Reddit. Reaction channels and T accounts act like YouTube Snark forums. Just like the Save a Fox Snark on Reddit, reaction or T channels overanalyze creator behavior, accuse them of lying or grifting, weaponize rumors and speculations, and often turn into mobs with viewers flooding the original creator's videos and comments. And again, if we go back to number one, they do all of this and they're monetized. So they're getting paid to do all that. And then they'll also, if we as just creators say anything remotely negative, then it's that we're the trolls and that we're the drama channels and the hate channels. And that just gives them something else to attack us about. False reporting and demonetization as harassment. Some troll organize and flag creators' videos under false pretenses, leading to video takedowns, community guideline strikes, demonetization, or suspension, even when the original creator did nothing wrong. This kind of behavior has been reported in multiple cases where mental health creators, trans creators, and animal rescues were falsely targeted. So, anybody that is trying to help people with mental health issues or, being safe in general, mentally safe in general, or somebody in the trans community or animal rescues, those are the biggest targets. People that are not out hurting anybody. They go after the best. And it's disgusting. It is just truly, truly disgusting. And she went through this for 7 years. Now, I don't know. I don't understand how that can even be allowed to the point that it was then bad enough to take down immediately as soon as she died. According to multiple sources, including a well-sourced Time magazine article called Internet Trolls Are Narcissists, Psychopaths, and Sadists. Okay. And also multiple quotes from Buckles and Trapnell and Paulus. The associations between sadism and trolling were so strong that it might be said that online trolls are prototypical everyday sadists. I should have brought these already. Hold on, I'm sorry. Right? Yeah, I'm about to say, oh, no, I didn't want to do it. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know why I'm so sure that I'm messing up when I'm actually not. This is the last group of slides I have. I think if I can get them all to fit. Oh, come on. Sorry, guys. I hate like dead air. I'm kind of like Aaron on that, where he's just like, I was gonna say on that where we were talking about just now about getting people's channels taken down or videos taken down and stuff when it's not warranted, that just happened today to Marilyn Honig, Coffee Cults and Crafts. Is that it? Coffee? Is that what it is? Coffee Cults and Crafts. Anyway, Marilyn's channel. She had, I think she said 5 videos flagged and taken down, um, because she used somebody's name that uses their name all the time, but they flagged her for it. So anyway, okay, let's see here. So anyway, they were just saying that these trolls are prototypical sadist. So I went and I looked up the definition of sadist. It's a person who derives pleasure, especially sexual gratification, from inflicting pain, suffering, or humiliation on others. In a broader usage, non clinical, it can also refer to someone who enjoys being cruel or deliberately cause pain or distress to others for their own amusement or satisfaction, not necessarily in a sexual context. This term can apply to both psychological and casual context. In psychology, it's linked to sadistic personality disorder, which is no longer officially recognized in the DSM, but in common usage, it it often is used to describe someone who seems to enjoy others' suffering. Either way, pretty nasty stuff, right? And this is the kind of people that were going after her. So the biggest issue is that these sadists are not satisfied with just tormenting people on a platform, on one platform. They migrate to multiple platforms, creating a circle of torture around their targets, where it's like everywhere you look, there they are, right? And so that's what was happening to her. That's what she was living with for 7 years. It just Okay, so this one is the difference between snarkers and trolls. Snarkers claim to be holding people accountable. Trolls openly admit that they want to cause chaos and pain. Snarkers often hide behind sarcasm and groupthink. Trolls use direct taunts, slurs, or threats. Snarkers are more common on Reddit. Trolls are found on Reddit, YouTube, X, Twitter, everywhere. Snarkers, some genuinely believe that they're right. When trolls, many just act out of boredom or just malice, just because they're assholes. But when the snarkers begin targeting mental health, grieving or children or deaths, the behavior becomes indistinguishable from trolling and emotional sadism. And I want to say this, and I'm going to name a name, sort of. Maybe I won't, as I don't want this video taken down. Um, Mrs. Vajayjay is a well-known troll, snark, whatever, right? And she began just an absolute online harassment of Aaron Smith Levin. In that, she would bring up his brother who passed. Is his name Colin? I think his name's Colin. It doesn't matter. Um, Somebody called her on it, that it was really kind of over the top to bring his brother into it, and she literally said, and I'm going to paraphrase, but the video's out there. I can talk about whoever I want to. I can talk about anybody. I can talk about if they're dead or alive or they died or whatever. It doesn't matter. I can do whatever I want. Now, Aaron's brother has absolutely zero to do with anything that Aaron is doing, whether she likes it, hates it, or whatever, now or in many, many, many years. What would be her reason to bring that up other than she knows it torments him? That's the kind of bitches that float around in this universe, this YouTube and Reddit, and you can never find them because they hide, just like mine. And even sometimes when you find their names, they're not even their real names. Just another fake. So I wondered about that because these are talking about a lot of these younger trolls, teenagers in their 20s and their 30s, that kind of thing. So I actually put in, and it was a lot nicer on here because it says, what about middle-aged trolls or middle-aged and older? And I actually put in middle-aged and geriatric because if I am elder abusing anybody, then and I'm 59, then she's got to be freaking geriatric. So, and yet she has time and energy to do all this. So we'll see. But anyway, yes, middle aged and older individuals do participate, and their motivations are often different from younger trolls. Common traits in older trolls: high moral outrage or religious rigidity. I could go a long ways on that one with Mrs. Vajayjay. Grudge holding, behavior towards influencers, younger people, or immorality. That one seems pretty popular. They participate in Facebook mobbing, Reddit threads, and YouTube comment wars. Absolutely. May view snarking as moral duty rather than entertainment. Retire, bitches, retire. You're getting old. Go away. I don't know. I'm just like, they make me sick. Not for what they do to me. I'm talking about the ones with like Michaela. If I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with, what was she dealing with? Okay. Who are these multi target trolls? There's crusader trolls. They view themselves as righteous defenders of truth. They often target anyone adjacent to a cause or community that they resent. They stalk dozens of people across platforms, commenting, clipping, and misleading. Sounds like a couple that I know of, right? Like Jamie Thomas. She doesn't just troll me, she trolls anybody that has anything to do with SPTV. Anybody. Why? Well, yeah, anybody, or with the anti Scientology movement, except anybody associated with the Michael J. Render Aftermath Foundation. Sociopathic smear campaigns, trolls who act like private investigators, digging into legal records, divorce filings, social media, and friends and family. Ding, ding, ding. They accuse multiple creators of being grifters, fake survivors, or cultish. They thrive on escalation and watch reactions to create more material. Yeah, absolutely. This one is, the whole thing is, okay, I guess I should remove the one it says I should remove instead of just like, and I think I'm getting a couple of these crisscrossed, but it won't matter. Okay. Trolls with moral disgust and sensitivity. Research shows that some trolls are driven by revulsion at perceived hypocrisy or moral weakness, especially in trauma communities. This is common in trolls who attack ex-cult survivors, disability advocates, or recovery creators. Multi-target trolls are often focused on ex-members of high-control groups like ex-Scientologists, ex-Mormon survivors of IFB, etc. Mental health or sobriety communities, female creators who call out abuse, ally channels, even if they don't speak directly about trauma. They often spread conspiracy adjacent claims such as, you're all in a new cult, you're profiting off trauma, you're lying about your past, you're all faking your mental illness, that kind of thing. All stuff we hear. Okay, I already did that one. I somehow didn't get that one taken off. Or I had it twice. You never know. But what their behavior really is, it is targeted harassment, not criticism. It often crosses into defamation, invasion of privacy, coercive control, cyber stalking. Final takeaway, trolls who target entire survivor communities or creator networks are often driven by control, jealousy, or perceived moral authority, masked as truth seekers or accountability warriors, engaged in behavior that mirrors abusive dynamics, including smearing, gaslighting, and public humiliation. And she was going through all of that. And, okay, this one. Real world example, anti Scientology community attacks. And I didn't look this one up. It came when I started asking, which I thought was, fitting. Ex Scientologists and adjacent creators have been targeted by trolls who accuse them of forming cults of personality. These trolls often make sock accounts, clip videos out of context, or cross post to Reddit Snark. Some mimic statistics used by Scientology itself, or tactics, used by Scientology itself, such as fair game, smear campaigns, and reputation sabotage. And that came from Leah Remini, among others. So, okay. So, as many of you know, I have been the victim of a troll or a snarker recently, and I do not mean to insinuate in any way, shape, or form, I really don't, that my trauma is as intense as Michaela's. But this isn't the Trauma Olympics, and it's time to put a stop to the constant abuse and harassment. Yes, we have free speech, but we also must find a way to hold these people responsible and accountable for their actions. Because we might have free speech, but we are not free or unaccountable to what happens if we yell fire in a crowded room, right? There's just times that you don't get to do just everything you want. So I am in the works, y'all, of drafting a petition and sending it out um, online. It'll be an online petition, and I'm going to be sending it to the attention of all the social media platforms who profit off the abuse of people. I will be working on it, and I will be letting you know when that is available. 'Cause I don't know how to do it, y'all, so I'm having to have some help getting this set up. So I do have a little bit of a personal announcement, and I want to share. I want to take a moment just to share something that's really from my heart. And effective today, I am retiring the immature Emma parody character. Now, let me be clear. I in no way believe anything that I did crossed a line, and neither does my lawyer, who I had look it over. It was never about being cruel or doing any kind of harm. My version of Emma was ditzy, kind of dramatic, and used relatable Reese's own words, not something that I invented or even highly embellished. I like Emma, and as do many of you. She made the absolute insanity of some of these situations funny, and I will miss that. But that said, I did make this personal decision to step away from the character because I don't want to even loosely be compared to the absolute disgusting snark culture. Now, I still fully intend to speak boldly against those who harm this community. That will never change. That's the hill I will die on. But I'll be doing it without imitation or mocking the character of another creator moving forward. As I told my lawyer, I think she does a fine job of that herself. I don't have to do it. And the ones that are still hanging in there, I don't know if I even have any hope that they'll come out voluntarily until she's taken down her channel, not personally. I will continue to use parody or satire, but with my fictional characters. Because let's face it, laughter is often the very best medicine. And I really do. I thank you all for understanding this and growing with me and for helping build a space here that holds people accountable without cruelty. So let's see here. I do have a couple more I want to show. um, oh, I always think, where is it? And I forget I got to get out of that folder into another one. I did make this little AI image, which I thought was kind of funny. It's me ripping that wig off, y'all. And I'm not happy about it. Let's just put it that way. But I am relieved in some ways. I am going to miss doing Emma, but you know, I just want to, I don't want to be associated with that ever. And if that means giving up Emma, then I will. Okay, so now where's these others that I need? Hold on just a second. Huh. I've got some and I'm trying to find them. Hold on. That's not them. What in the world? I've got some really cool. I don't know where they're at. Crap. I had them here last night. I don't understand. I should have. One more folder. I should have a folder that says first. Hold on, let me look on my desktop. Let's look in here. No. Okay. I've got a couple of others that I'm going to just put in my, I don't know where I've put them. Let me look very, very quickly because they're good. I could have sworn they were on there last night. I don't know what I've done with them. I just had them. Um, Hold on. Okay, yeah, hold on just a second. I'm going to send these over to myself real fast. I don't know where they went. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to send these to me real quick because I want to bring them up. I want you to see these. And I will put them in my posts. I don't know what I did with them. I don't know why they're not showing up. Okay, let's see here. That's all. Yeah, that's them. Okay, send. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I was so organized, and I don't know. Um, Let me try to think. Oh, okay. No, hold on a minute. If I disappear, I'll be back. I'm just gonna move some stuff over. Come on. Okay, I'm almost done, guys. I really did have them. I don't know how I don't know where they're at because I had those on. I had everything very organized. I was very proud of myself. For once, I was like, "Hey, I did this." They're probably there, and I'm probably looking at them and can't see them. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see if they're there now, right? Okay, this is the one I want first. Yay. This is a group of other creators that have unalived themselves, committed suicide, um, because of snark accounts and trolls. Amanda Todd was a 15-year-old Canadian teen. It's awfully small. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read it, but anyway, I'll put this in my comments too, in my post too. Jamie Rodemeyer, he was 14. He was a blogger. He talked about his trouble with homophobia, cyberbullying on Tumblr and YouTube. He died by suicide in September of 2011 after years. Years. Atika Desmond Amofa, he was a popular YouTuber and streamer. He had over 1 million subscribers. Yeah, he posted hinting that he was going to commit suicide, and he did. Hana Kimura was a Japanese reality star and professional wrestler. She's she was something else, but people just cyberbullied her. She committed suicide in 2020. Gao Hera, she was part of the K-pop group, one of the K-pop groups, and she died in 2019. It was ruled a suicide, with cyberbullying cited as a significant contributing factor. Now, this one didn't commit suicide, but she did write a note and seriously considered it. And that was in 1994. So I went ahead and included her just because I'm so glad she didn't. Okay, then we're almost done. I might get these out of order. Y'all, I seriously might. Oh, I actually got it in the right order. These are everyday people. There's 5 on this page. I'm not going to read them just because you can read it on there and I can't see it. It's too small. Yeah. A 17-year-old from Canada, a 13-year-old from the US, a 15-year-old from the US, a 14-year-old from Australia, 15-year-old from the US. Fourteen-year-old from Australia, 15-year-old from the US. Yeah, cyberbullies, suicide linked to cyberbullying is increasingly documented in adolescents. Studies show victims of cyberbullying, okay, have 2 to 9% higher risk of suicidal thoughts and attempts compared to non-victims of cyberbullying. It goes up if those that are being bullied also suffer from any kind of mental illness. And as we saw last night, there are many, 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 many types of mental illness. Is this the same one? Yeah, that's the same one from earlier. I'm sorry. So that was it. Um, so anyway, I want to thank all of you for watching and for holding space, not just for Michaela, but for anyone who's been pushed to the edge by cruelty online. If you have or are going to donate, or you left a super chat to be donated, or you just listened with an open heart, you have already made a difference. And just let us remember that words have weight. Screens don't shield our souls from torture. And just because someone is strong online doesn't mean that they're not hurting offline. We need to take care of each other, be loud with our kindness. And as always, if nobody's told you today, I am damn glad that you're here, because you all do matter. Every single one of you. To the trolls, this isn't a moment for you. And I know there's some here, or there will be. This is a moment for love, for accountability, and for change. And I truly pray that something changes your hearts. Before I speak to the chat, I do want to read just a couple of quotes that I found. And I hope that the trolls especially hear these loud and clear. It says, quote, "They will do anything to silence someone who is telling the truth. It doesn't matter how many lies they have to tell or how cruel they have to be." Unquote. And then it says, quote, "They swamp people with hate, shame them, discredit them, isolate them, ruin their reputation. That's the goal." End quote. The person that said that was Michael J. Render, who a lot of the trolls that we deal with on a daily basis idolize. Now, I didn't like everything that he said or did, and I've never pretended otherwise. And that's why they troll me, is because a year ago I said something negative about Mike Render. Since then, I've said positive things, but that doesn't matter. A year ago, I said something negative. So I'm going to say this. If you won't listen to me, if you won't listen to anyone or anything, listen to him. You claim to idolize him. You claim everything he said was brilliant. Listen to him. Somehow I don't figure you will, but I can always hope. Because those were wise words. He had a lot of wise words. That's all I'm going to say about him. But anyway, I'm going to go see the chat. I'm going to look at the starred comments. We have quite a few. And I really do appreciate you all for helping me get through this. I don't know what happened. I completely lost some of those slides and had to run get them. But I will be putting them on my community post. So anyway, I really do appreciate you guys. I already read that one. Such a beautiful person, mom, wife, caregiver. Depression is cruel. Autism makes you see and understand the world differently. Her troll needs to be prosecuted. There were 4 that were very active. I mean, there was a lot, but there were 4 that were the main instigators. I found a picture of one. And some of them came from, sadly, this is what broke my heart, honestly. The furry community, where they dress in like costumes, they identify as different animals and stuff. It was from that, from the trans community, all communities that are probably, have their own bullies. But they did this to her. It just, I don't understand. I really just don't understand. But Kristen, thank you, and that will be going to her. And I will show receipts. Aw. Thank you. $4.99 helps cover the 30% for YouTube. Thank you. Yeah. Uh, I will be giving it, though. I'll be giving it in full. Mayor says the Snarks crossed the line ages ago. I agree. I do agree with that. Oops. Okay. Online cruelty is at an all-time high. People have definitely crossed a line. Why? How can they not care about a human life? I agree. Jersey Jan, I absolutely agree. I don't understand it. That's why I made the decision to retire immature Emma. As much as I think that she's hilarious and I don't think that she's mean, if somebody did one like that, of me, I wouldn't feel bullied, it would probably make me think, but I don't think that I would feel bullied. I have told him, make one, I don't care. Just don't lie. Don't be intentionally cruel. Go with the lines of what parody is supposed to be, and I would be fine with it. Now, the stuff that Jamie Thomas does is ugly. It's just ugly, and I don't like that. But well, because most of it's lies. I mean, I do not think in any way, shape, or form that I'm some absolute beautiful woman, but I am not a freaking Quasimodo. I know that. Ugh. Yes, Indigo. Absolutely. This case is so tragic. It makes me angry too. It truly does. It breaks my heart that the community she did so much work for was terrible to her. I think it was jealousy. Here was this, I mean, honestly, this kid, right? At least in the beginning, that she comes in there and she worked her ass off, y'all. And she was the biggest fox rescue in the entire country. And that says something. She had an actual foundation at 20. I think that it was jealousy. Also, mental illness doesn't define people. I can't believe how cruel people were. I know. I feel exactly the same way. I was just like, and this one here, Ben, I saw you when you put that up. It's when we were talking about the fact that they knew that she suffered from mental illness, that she was autistic. They knew, and they used it against her. They even used the fact that she was beautiful and that her husband was just kind of a regular guy. Like, that is something to shame her about. She saw his soul. He's not ugly. I mean, it wouldn't matter if he was. But I'm just saying, it didn't matter to her that he wasn't, this tall, dark, and handsome guy or whatever. He's just a guy. And she fell in love with him. I think it's lovely. Yeah. Those innocent animals helped her deal with issues and just life in general. And for people to use that against her is disgusting. You're right. And she had a video not too long before her death where she talked about how hard it was, that it is hard work, that, she works hours and hours and hours a day, and was talking about how when she does these, quote unquote photo shoots, it's not really photo shoots so much as just somebody snapping pictures while she goes about her job, while she's taking care of the animals. Yeah. I always try to say in chat sarcasm or joking when I type in chats because I know that some people have trouble seeing that offline. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. When we can't hear the person saying it or something, sometimes it is hard. And so I get that. Mayor says, my grandson does much better online, but he's definitely learning to read the cues. That's so good. That is so good. Ben Bacon Bits. It takes a lot for most people to not feel some minor physical pain when someone disapproves of it. Absolutely. Even if you don't value their opinion, it's still it still can hurt. Like, I don't value trolls' opinions. I don't. I know that they're full of shit. I know that they're lying. I know that I'm not the things that they say I am. When they say, people that have no idea will say that I'm just a horrible, horrible person. She's obviously just a disgusting human. And I know deep in my heart that that is not true. I know it. I don't read it and think, am I really that? I don't. But there's some little bit of me that still gets a little bit of like, it hurts a little. And that's what they want. Yeah. Close friends don't push you to unalive yourself. How horrid. Yeah, people she thought were close friends anyway. Absolutely. Yeah, how could other rescuers turn against her? There's no reason for that. I know. It makes me sick. Cliff Cliff Ann Ferguson, why don't people understand that all creators that are talked badly about by trolls or other creators that they could have issues that no one knows about? Why do creators bully and say or, and say she said? Yeah, I get it. Oh, my nose is itching, y'all. I don't understand online trolls at all. I don't either, Mayor. I don't. I have never like. I don't get any kind of pleasure by being hateful to somebody. And if I don't like them, I just don't watch. If I think that they're like bad, I just don't watch. Now, with the exception, y'all, of Reese and Tommy, and I know that I do say stuff about them, but I bring the receipts out of their own mouths. And that's because they're hurting you, and I can't handle that. Unhappy people can be very mean and vindictive. That is just so true, Stacia. Those people are trash. Knowingly harming someone when you can't handle the jealousy. If you're a grown adult, or if you're a grown as an adult, use your mouth words before running someone. Yeah, yeah, I get what you mean. They're not happy unless someone else is miserable as they are. My brother is like that. I get that, Jersey. I really do. I have family members like that too. Yeah. It doesn't make them happy. It just feeds their troll brains. I think so too. Yeah, I don't think that they're really happy. I think that it's just something that they do. It's really not that difficult to be kind, agree to disagree, or just stop. Absolutely. Fans, there's no reason for creators or trolls to come down on people they don't like. Some creators are no better than trolls. The people don't understand that what they say can hurt. Hmm. I wish they were held accountable. I think that Ethan, I think he's going to go as far as he can towards holding them accountable. And to the trolls that said that he said that they may have played a small part in it, that's a lie. He did not say that. I have watched his videos. I watched it live when he put it out, or I think it was actually a recorded, but I did it as soon as it was on. I watched it, and it felt live. It was so raw, and so he was pissed. And this was after a couple of days. He didn't come on immediately. This was after he had had a couple of days to gather his thoughts. Yep, social media is owned by the rich. It's all for the money, not for decency. Absolutely. If it were for decency, they would not allow the crap that they allow on there. That's just like every one of my videos is marked that it's not for children. Every one of them. Even if we talked about something that was absolutely fine for kids to watch, it's not for children. But a lot of creators won't do that. Why? Why would you want kids to watch it? If it's not appropriate, why would you want kids to watch it? But a lot of them won't simply even do that. I think it's a mission for some to destroy lives, not caring who gets hurt, just as long as they think that they are right. I believe some creators, trolls, their content need to get their content and quit bullying others. That's what she said. Good to see you. It's important to stand up for a person who's being bullied. They won't, so they won't feel so alone. Absolutely. And we're going to go into a little bit about that on a future live, that there are things as creators and just even the viewers that we can do to help. And we're going to I have a video in the works already about that. As I understand it, subreddits have mods who are supposed to monitor the negative behavior, but if you complain, it goes to the mods who allow it or even start it. Absolutely. I mean, in my opinion, from what I have seen on there, it's the very ones that are doing the modding that are doing the most stirring. Yeah, those parts of Reddit need to be taken down and not after somebody kills themselves. Now, maybe her death will lead to some change, but I doubt it. It led. I think that they thought, oh shit, we might get sued, right? So they're gonna try to cover their butts. I just wish that there was a social media platform that did hold people accountable and not let the trolls and the snarks and all that do their work. I wish that they did. I don't even care if they didn't let any of the contenters talk, content creators talk about other creators. If I never talked about another creator again and all I did was just create content about whatever, I'd be happy. Just usually whenever I say anything about somebody, it's to answer back to lies and stuff that they have said. So, I just it just needs to stop. And I thought, well, if I retire Emma, then it's a teeny tiny thing, but yeah, Bear says I can understand calling out creators that are harming the community, but it's ridiculous how many attack subreddits there are to just attack anyone that they disagree with. Yeah. And like I said, she said that the reason that she is, attacking me is because I said something against Mike Rinder. And that was over a year ago. And I just said that he was holding on for information that he could turn over to the police that could potentially shut down Scientology, and that he was doing it so that he could cover his own ass. And I'll say that till the day I die. And if it makes her want to, troll me some more, then bring it. Amy says, I had a lot of mental health issues and never got the help. Yeah, she had a lot. Yeah. Yeah. She had a pretty good um support system most of the time, but I think that it was just too much with all of the relentless attacks didn't help. Absolutely. Indigo says, I would caution people speculating if creators are or aren't getting mental health help. There's a lot behind the scenes viewers don't know and don't need to know. Absolutely. There's a lot that goes on that we don't know. I think there's a difference between accountability and harassment. A lot of people confuse consistent accountability, holding someone responsible for what they did, with harassment, which isn't the same. I agree. Cliffan says, sadist sounds like some content creators and trolls. Trolls seem not to have a life. It's sad. They are pathetic human beings. They have a low IQ and should be held accountable for the harm that they're caused. The thing is that they say a lot of trolls actually have very high IQs, that they're actually very smart. Oh, well, here we go. Mara says, Cliffan, I agree with everything you said except for the low ID or IQ. I think some of them may be highly intelligent. That's what they say. It actually says that in some of the stuff I was reading. Yeah, you're just asking questions. You just ask all that you want. Yep, just asking questions. That's what they say, right? I'm just asking questions. But you can ask all you want. And if they would just ask questions and then accept the answers that they get when they're proven true, then that would be different. But like some people, you can absolutely, they can ask the question, you can answer them, and they just keep asking the same question because they didn't get the answer they wanted. Yeah, that's why I say don't acknowledge what they're saying, not giving them steam. It is what kills them, block them. Unfortunately, YouTube isn't great at investigating situations, yeah, that violate the TOS. Absolutely. And the thing is that I have blocked, if you saw my blocked list, it's crazy, but they just come back with 10 more sock accounts. They just come back with more. Absolutely, mischief. Just because we have free speech does not mean that we are free of consequences. That's right. Why should it matter what someone's past was? That's the key word, past. Move past the bullying. No more. No one deserves this. Everyone needs to stay in their own lane. True. You will continue to put on lipstick. You can still put lipstick on, John. If you don't know, you'll have to go back and look at one of the videos that John did with me, and he kind of imitated me imitating Reese. So he was his very own Emma. And he did. He put on makeup, including lipstick, and it was adorable. And then he was just like wiping it off, and I thought, please go wash that off. It's going to embed into your face and hurt like hell all day, all night. Hmm. I like that you're standing by your convictions. You're asking others to not be cruel and retiring Emma, which could be seen that way. Yeah, it's a good choice. I think so too. I keep hitting that button. Aw, Mischief, I'm proud of you, Susie. Great call, retiring Emma. It's hard, y'all, because I like her. We'll have others. Indigo says, I'm more open about it now. I'm healing from that time when I was in a DV situation. Yep. It's a lot, but sharing it makes me feel less alone. Well, I'm glad. Please do share. Yeah. You are definitely not alone. Yeah. I myself was in a situation like that. Yeah, it does me too. It breaks my heart. I hate how common DV is in the world. So, yeah, I've been thinking about doing a live about that. It is just, it's so hard. It just touches a lot. It's very triggering for a lot of people, but I think it would be a great show to do and just to get the word out and give some resources and just let people know that they're not alone. If nothing else, just let people know they're not alone. Mary says, I found the more I shared, the less the darkness could sneak in. Absolutely. I disagreed with some of what Mike Render said. However, he did also do very positive outreach and activism against Church Scientology. Two things can be true at once. Absolutely. And that's what I kept telling him. I said, I don't hate the man. They like kept saying that I just hated him and I trashed him and everything. And I don't hate the man. Did not hate the man. And I generally say rest in peace anytime that I speak his name. So rest in peace. I did not say that earlier. But he was not a saint. He was a human. And I even said on the deal where I said that I thought that he was, keeping some information back to cover his own ass, that I would probably do the same thing. So, what an asshole am I? If I think he's an asshole, then I'm an asshole too, right? Yeah. If you avoid conflict to keep the peace, you start a war inside yourself. Cheryl Richardson. That's a good one. That's a good one. Interrupt the ritual. Ask yourself, what the hell am I afraid that is going to happen if I am truly honest right now? Getting the disdain of some people isn't the end of the world. That's great. That's a great one. My mods are so smart, y'all. I just saw something. Oh. Hey, Wild Poppy. Good to see you. Very good to see you. I know there's probably some of you that have come in. An asshole is an asshole. I'm just kind of going down through here to see if I see any other people. Lori Driscoll's here. Good to see you. I know there's several people that came in that I didn't see because the number's bigger than whenever I was reading them off. But I do just want to thank all of you for being here. I really do. Y'all, just be kind. Just be kind. I just really this suicide has hit me really hard. And I don't know. And I mean, I was already gonna do a live about sadistic trolls, and not even about anybody that's trolling me. It was just the topic of it, and it was gonna be a lot about the Reddit stuff, and I already had it scheduled. And then I was looking around at stuff to watch, and Ethan's video came up, and it just bowled me over, and I just sat and cried. And I just went immediately and changed it to this. And I didn't have any idea what I was going to talk about, anything. I just knew I had to cover it. And that's when I decided that, any of the super chats or anything would go to that. And I don't know. I decided it, and then I got ambushed about it. Even if you do something good, the trolls come after you, and I'm sure that that's what Michaela was living with. So we've just got to do something. I'm going to work on that petition and get it up and going. And I know that they had one to get that subreddit taken down, and it did, but I want to do something too, and I'll have that online. I'll let you know when I get it up. And we just got to do something. And then I'm going to be looking for ways that we as creators or as viewers or whatever, that we can work towards getting rid of these trolls and snarks, and how we can try to get the attention. Can you hear my dog snoring? That's my bulldog. She's loud. But anyway, there's got to be something we can do, right? Because there's way more good people than there are snarks. There's just got to be. There's got to be way more good people. So anyway, I'm going to get that. I'm smiling at some of the comments that I see. So anyway, I'm going to take tomorrow off, and I'm actually planning to take Monday off just because I have 2 big scans, and they inject me with this chemical stuff, and I'm usually just wiped by the end of the day. So I will be back Tuesday, if not before, but for sure I'll be back Tuesday. So I love you guys, and I will see you later.
Hope you enjoyed the show, so glad you were here. We meet here most days, we're but first coffee and you're welcome here. We talk about hard subjects, but we also laugh a lot. If you have a loss or win, we will cheer for you. We're but first coffee, and you are safe here. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't want to miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't wanna miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like